I think that's recording. I don't know. Here. All right, so this is test 3, I think, or 4. I don't remember. Of this FPV platform. I've got. I think I've got the mount down to where I can print one that doesn't actually have like any adjustability, because it doesn't really seem like it needs any. Because the first time or two that I've done this, I've actually sort of regretted moving it around. So I think I'm gonna use the settings that I've got. This is a little bit different. I've got a tether on the I don't know what you call these things, eyeglass tether thing. Only reason I'm doing that is because I'm actually going to do some I don't know, maybe real world testing, I guess. Version 2.3, I think. I'm still on the, I had to add a heat sinks to this thing because it was just getting too hot. But I am going to tether it this time, just because I'm going to be crawling around. I really wanted to do a test of actually making something, doing like a sort of a hands-on thing. I've done the driving thing. I've got one that I'm sort of working at on a project at working, and I've got this guy right here. And what I've got is this here. That's my workbench there, and then this thing right here is like my battery charge slash, I don't know, hot workstation. And the this is, I think that's MDF, and then I've got some. This is Duct, and then this guy right here. What I've done is I've built like a plenum. I got sheetrock, and then this right here is backer board. Then I sort of built it out with hardy type products, things that are flame resistant. So there's a plenum between these two pieces. That's only about an inch or so, and that way I can ventilate this thing through the wall and then down. But the problem is I'm kind of stupid. I got this guy right here. I'm kind of stupid. This place is a real big mess because of the work that I had to do to this little area here. This used to be like there was a bathroom here. This is the door to the bathroom, and then this was sort of like the well house, but that's not the well we use anymore. This was a sort of a porch, and I had some a little bit of termite damage that I had to repair. So everything had to come out of this room, and then I added this beam. I blew this wall out. That right there used to be just like a plywood barn door. So I found that thing and installed that door. So this is fairly rodent resistant now. So I have all these shelves in here. This has kind of been a dream of mine to have. Is on the farm here. We just use so many different plumbing fittings and things like that. So I have just the different types of PVC and Schedule A and CPVC and the valves and all the required components. Any of this stuff that I've saved, I got boxes of screws and things. And this right here is where that plenum comes through on the other side. And since I'm real smart, I came through right at the level of this shelf, which I really can't move because of the way that I sort of like built these things. These shelves are not built in the way that they're supposed to be, so I can't just take shelves out of here because everything is sort of progressive. So I'm just going to use a piece of that sort of, I don't know, what size is this, 3 1/4 by 6 ducting, and just go down behind all these things. And then when I get to the ground, I'll just go out the wall, and then that's outside. So I've got a ventilator fan, big 6-inch duct fan that I'm going to stick in that. But this piece, the transition from that hole through the wall and then down, doesn't really exist. So I'm going to have to make that. This is sheathing, but it has foam, so I have to remove probably remove the sheathing where I'm working here. But in my defense, I originally had a 4-inch hole, and I just decided that wasn't big enough, so I went to a 6-inch, and I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get it all in there like I liked it and have this thing as high as it needed to be, so I had to rethink that. So I have to make that first piece, that transition. So I figured I'd go ahead and make a video of it, and then that way I can kind of see what it's like to actually make things. Sort of work with your hands. I've got another video or two that I did with the older version where I made some stuff at work, and that was a success, but I needed to do some work on the mount and things. So hopefully this mount isn't as bouncy. This place is a complete disaster because everything that was in that room had to come in this room when I did all the work over there, and now I'm just sort of getting everything put back in there. So this, and then the hole is right there. I've got a whole bunch of can lights. This is all sheetrock. Everything in here is flame retardant with the exception of this piece of MDF. No, this is, I don't know, OSB. So I'll have to do something like that. But this way I can I sort of do any kind of welding or battery charging. I've got my power supply, and then I have a spot welder that I'm going to put together to make a bunch of lithium batteries. But let's see how this looks. I've got all the wires and everything are already running conduit. I have this would be the fan. It's all in there, and then these are the lights. So you know, with welding and whatnot, they're going to be pretty friggin' bright. But so the first thing I guess is this guy here. I'll have to punch in a hole. I'll remove some of that sheathing on the other one, and then this. Well, let's just get to it. I have to pick up the boy in 45 minutes, so let's see how far I can get. This is. I never really intended to film any of this sort of thing, so some of my lighting situations I have a problem painting stuff white just for the reflection, you know, just to get light on everything, but it's really not great for filming. So, alright. You know what, I need some light out there so I can see kind of what I'm doing. I'm doing all this work and sort of developing this thing. I need to, I've been trying to film. You know, I've got so many projects and so many things that we do around here that I just need to have this desire to just, you know, film some of it, but I can't. There's just too much stuff to do, you know. There's just no time. I had a couple of videos that I produced and published right at the beginning of COVID, essentially when I lost my job, and once I got a new job, I never had any time to do that anymore. So so I think I'm the only person on earth that went from a stay-at-home job to a go-to-work job because of COVID. But I just don't have time for this kind of thing. There's so many things. We have so many things that we do around here. We just don't have time. So this is kind of a difficult test for this thing, just because it's, I mean, there's so much stuff in the way, and the lighting is bad, and I'm moving around a ton. I haven't done any image stabilization. That's kind of in a later phase, but the other videos that I've published, I never intended to publish those, but it was just so interesting. I just went ahead and did so. Just, you know, I'm going to have some probably an opportunity for a GoFundMe or something, you know, just to do, because I've got a hardware. This is the hardware solution, or the beginning of the hardware solution, so I can start to understand the problems with, you know, filming first person, or POV as the porno industry is calling it, which means that that's what we're going to call it. You know, it's just historically they've gotten to name things. So I'm trying to understand some of the challenges of this type of filming, and this will ultimately end up in like a I have some ideas for some like AI. I think I can get AI if I, you know, constrain the environment that we're filming in. I think I can actually get AI to do a bunch of the work for us in a way that that you can, you know, edit all this on a smartphone or tablet, and get videos out quickly, because that's my problem, is I don't have time to produce things. So I'm gonna have to automate this some way, and this is the best I can come up with. I don't know what this light's like. I've aimed this camera a couple of different ways. I think this is the right place to aim it. I think I've done that before. So we got an elbow from transition. That's the fan. I was just using it to circulate some air inside of here. And then I have once I get down to the pipe, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to get out the wall yet, but we'll burn that bridge as we cross it. But we'll come out there somewhere. I don't know. We'll go through some sort of like spark arrestor and filter and things. There's nothing in any of this that's flammable, but I do want to eliminate any opportunities for flamming. So, I haven't. I'm trying to be as natural as I can. I'm trying to not like change, with the exception of talking at a higher volume. I'm trying not to change like habitually how I work. So there's a lot of head snappy movement, but I'll deal with that as we progress. I'm going to automate the editing to where that sort of just does itself, like where the software, if I can get the environment to where the software can understand what I'm doing, maybe it can do some of the image stabilization and things like that. So again, we'll come to that when we get there. So inside is 10, so 5. I need enough to bend, so 5 and 3 greedy. How much? Say 6. That'd be easier to drill a hole in that rib anyway. This duct, the way that it works is you have to have 2 pieces. You have one's at A, and then like my logo, and so I'm just gonna like make the adapter, get it on there, and then I'll go get some more duct or tube or whatever you want to call it whenever I get a little closer. This reflection is probably wreaking havoc, but this is without it. I don't know, without the overhead lights, if that's any better. I've got lights in this. This is mirror, but I've actually put like the dark coat. We call it lens tint. Put lens tint on it, but this is not lens tinted. But I do have some strip of RGB LEDs in there that are set to just white, or as close to white as it can muster. So I got that. I need. Does this fit over or under that? Because that pipe has to go through. I know I've squished that pipe to where it's not round anymore. I had a 3-way switch, and then this all used to be outside, but I might go into that a little. Okay, so that is internal, so I need to be bigger than the outside of this. I am trying to do a better job of keeping my head straight. I haven't been so great at that. I have one of these cube cameras that I was keeping up here, and it did a really good job without this, but I've added this shelf since then, so I don't know that this is really going to work, but I would really love to do it just one. That way I can, just film the thing, edit it on a tablet, and then just post it without having a whole bunch of extra thinking. So 10 minus 6 1/8. So that means I am 5, so 2 1/2. So 1, 2 1/2. 2 1/2 minus 1/16 is here. And then you're going to add 6 1/8. Make sure we have somewhere approaching 2 and 1, 2, and that's 2 1/4. Let's come this way just here. Okay, and then same thing where we're 3 1/8, 6 1/4. I should put it around somewhere around center. Boy, this is probably just washing out like crazy. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there. So this, and this. She may not start out round. She's going to be round when I start beating on it with a hammer. I have the option of either folding this over and then just putting a cap on it, which is probably what I'll do, or making it round and then doing a flange and stuff. I don't think I'm going to go through all that trouble, because I kind of want to be able to take the top off of this thing if for some reason they need to get down in there or clean it out or whatever. So these will bend inward, same thing with the bottom, and then I'll just be able to like basically tape a strip of metal on that. And then this right here, when I go through the wall, I'll cut the pipe. That kind of really looks like just like this. That was a 90 degree, this one's a straight. So where it comes through, I'll and then tape, and then but we're again, we'll get there when we get there. So I think we're okay to start cutting this. I need gloves. Really is pain in the ass working in this place with all your stuff strewn around, and it's going to be even more of a pain in the ass because everything will be moved because nothing's where I put it. I guess we're getting a new pair. I have another pair of these somewhere. I guess we're doing a new pair. Resized to fit. One of the odd things about this particular setup is that you're actually a little bit higher than my eye level, and I am 6'4", so you're about 6'5". So this is the vantage point of somebody who's 6'5", more or less. Get in there. Honda wants to buy my car. No thanks. Yes. Wait. I always forget which one's left and which one's right. We're calling this one good. I got a curtain and a curtain rod with a like a fireproof curtain. I got a little piece of borosilicate glass. I'm going to make like a pull out here where I put a track in there where you can pull it out. And then I've got a curtain rod with a curtain borosilicate glass. We'll put loops in it, and we'll come back to that. I don't know. I might end up doing a bunch of these type of videos if I can make it easy on myself. Now, how the heck am I going to get started here? I guess I have to use. I'm going to redo a bunch of different stuff. This whole thing here is a work in progress. Part of the AI experience, I'm going to develop an app with this thing too. Part of the AI experience is going to be the ability to understand whether or not we're doing something monotonous, and then be able to skip to new dialogue and understand multi-takes, and then do like some easy way of navigating all that sort of stuff. And then I really want to keep it all on this, because that's really the format that these things tend to take. The different ways that you can film your what you're doing, you can do the whole, camera at chest level. You can do the overhead camera. You can use your phone with one hand. There's the, I guess, the closest analog to whatever I'm going to actually end up with. Alright, so that's pretty good. And then, but there's just problems with all those things, not being able to just, work on it. And then even things like the GoPro on your head, it's such a pain in the ass to get everything off of there, and then try to, you have to have a PC and you have to edit it and all that other stuff. And if I can get, if I can take away 2/3 of that, and be able to, to shorten the production time, then just doing this sort of thing, just because we're always making stuff, we're always doing things, and we're always, there's never a dull moment here. We don't watch TV, but it just takes so much time to produce this sort of thing. You can't get the content out. But if I can, produce a product that that sort of automates the content delivery, then yeah, I think that would be something that would just be hugely successful. And but I am not a software designer. I'm an engineer. I'm not that kind of engineer, and but I'll have to hire that out. So that's why I'm doing the videos, is because this may come down to like a GoFundMe or whatever, to hire a programmer. This is why I was going to use this first piece. I was going to cut it in half and use it for the top and the bottom, just because I'm not going to be able to get that in there. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections, so 3 and 3. Yeah. How's that treated there? Whoops! Don't step on your pipe. Alright, so it looks like one will be an innie and one will be an outie. The lighting is just awful in here, and the reflections. And this camera has. I use this particular camera because it does have some hardware access, and I'm going to need that whenever I go to do the like a three-dimensional version of this. Whenever I'm actually at two cameras, and I need to synchronize everything. So that's why I use this particular camera. Eventually we'll probably end up developing a camera platform that has some of the other features that I'm going to need in order to make this work. Where am I not? Possibly. Always got to consider the possibility that you're just too dumb to figure it out. But the auto levels on the sound, and then being able to pick up the difference between dialogue and conversation. These are things that are available. Image stabilization based on known points of reference and things like that. That would be specific to first-person video. So which one of these do we need to fix? This one will be an in and outie. This will be an outer. So that means that so this will be an inner, or whatever it takes to. If I were smart, I would have lengthened that by this and then cut these out and then made it fold over, but I'm not that smart. After the fact on this shit. The next one I'll do. Yeah, next one I'll do it that way. Got to get the boy from summer camp at 1:45, so, or at least hack it up so I can do so. I need to sharpen it. So I can't play very long. I got to go back inside. My mama's calling me. No, they just removed it altogether, didn't they? No, no. Derp. I'm not a sheet metal man. I do this a couple times a year, and that's about it. We're fixing to do a whole bunch of them because I got some geothermal under the radar, figuring out why they want some $1 million to do a stinking geothermal system. And this area under here, this my office, it used to be an apartment, but now it's my office is above us. And it's this entire section right here. It's a 16-foot square. And what I did is, you know, this was just, this part in the corner right here was actually insulated, and it was done, you know, I wouldn't say properly, but it was okay. But the termites ate it, and I had to end up blowing out this wall anyway. So this was like a little porch area that was for this thing, but I didn't love it. So I ended up pushing the wall out there, put in the beam to support where the termites had eaten, because that was originally that was not necessarily a load-bearing wall, but it is now. And then with the plan of I've already got the one layer of foam in there, but I'm going to finish insulating this, and then the office there and in this room will both be heated and air conditioned, and then that way we can, all this stuff is just going to last forever. But that right there is the original 24-inch. It's a 24-inch well, and it is about 50 feet deep. But our water table is really high here, so it actually hits water at 6 feet. But I'm going to do some kind of crazy split system geothermal, trust me, and we're going to use that to either pump or dump or something. We're going to be able to geothermally heat and cool both of these things, and then see if we can do that just using solar or solar, what is it, solar geothermal. I got a heat sink and I got a heat source and plenty of electricity, so we'll... if I can get this thing to happen, I'll video all this crap, but there's a lot of ifs. I have a pair of flanging pliers, but they're all the way over there, so I mean, I'm not... Wait a minute. I'm fucking up, aren't I? Yes I am. This will be an innie, but not that far any. Just to make sure all this stuff fits. Those line up. That looks pretty good over there, but this one I need to cut it back to where that was. I promise it ain't always just like this, but it is. It's always like this. There's just so many things going on. No time for nothing. So that's that. And gosh, could have done a better job of that. But it just needs to hold in the flames. It don't got to be real pretty. Alright, so that's that. And now that I've crushed it horrifically, that's going to snap together nicely, but I do need to, if I'm going to seal these. I know that I did that those shears wrong, but again, with the bullshit, it's too hard excuse. So it's this. I don't know if I've ever put a rivet in there. That's that stuff. Do I have any more metallic type stuff? Yeah. Stuff's more metal-y. You lose some dexterity, but I have a medical condition that makes me extremely sensitive to cold. So I just always wear gloves anyway, so you get a little bit better at manual dexterity with gloves on, just, you know, out of necessity. Well, you don't, but I do. This stuff will stick to anything, including dirt. But the problem is the dirt doesn't stick to metal, so oils and stuff. Hopefully there's enough, you know, good video in here that isn't completely washed out with reflections and flashes and shit. Not up to my usual high standards. I think that paperclip might be magnetic, which is a real trick because this knife's supposed to be stainless. Some sort of racking strength. Let's see how well this thing picks up hammer blows. I'm having to do all my working up there on that bench top, which is, you know, set up for electronics work and stuff like that. But I have yet to. I've got a big piece of material. I'm going to build a big work table here that's got a nice metal top. It'll be a lot lower, but I have some real specific way I want to do it. And I haven't acquired the materials, all of them. Alright, well I guess we're done having fun then. Because I don't know what the hell time it is. I mean, like, you're blocking the clock right now. Love you. I guess I'm done. Yes, I'll install the car seat. You should come in here with a better attitude. On account, this is my first warning. I mean, you can you know, want and wish all you want.
Daddy.
You gotta. What time is it?
It's it's 1:50 now. I need to leave. And
oh.
You need to be leaving here at 2:15. So you need to go ahead and stop what you're doing.
Yeah, 25 minutes to put a car seat in. Gotcha. Love you.
Love you.
I wish this thing was better at letting me know if I'm actually recording. I think it's only got 2 LEDs, maybe 1 LED. No, it's 2 LEDs. One of them is like light pipe to the other one, so it's not real bright on the side where I can see. I I reviewed some of the video that I took a few minutes ago before I went and got the boy, and I think I'm aimed fairly well. I'm actually kind of surprised it did as well as it did, so it's just because I didn't explain it too well. Let's just go ahead and continue on with the festivities. I mean, whatever it is we're doing here. Stuff. We're doing stuff, that's it. Dang it. You gotta... Getting this thing right behind my ears. I think I'm actually aimed a little bit further down than I was before. We'll see how much difference that makes, if anything at all. Alright, so I am shaking quite a bit. Well, I'm not shaking, but the video is a little herky-jerky, so I'm going to try to... I'll try a couple of techniques for getting rid of some of that. I guess I could take that with me. Yeah. So... This building has kind of evolved over the course of several iterations. Originally, it was just this like hut right here, like this. It was a piece of concrete, and it was just this building with the well house in it. And then they built that big shop over there before I ever bought it. And apparently, the lady got a divorce, I guess, real soon after. And then, but I say all that to say that this wall here is double. This is a double wall. This like original wall with the siding on the side of it, and then they just went on the inside of that wall and built another wall, so it's double 2x4 with this ancient sheathing between it. So because the sheathing is foam, and it's also, it's not giving me a whole lot of room to work, because this is 3 1/4, this is 3 1/2, so if I pull out some of that unnecessary sheathing, it should be able to give me or I should get a little bit more room to work. So, but we'll see. I mean, it doesn't need to be pretty or anything. It's real low rent. I mean, I own the house, so go all the way to that wall there. Some kind of crazy. The termites love it. Whatever this sheathing's made out of. It's this. And then behind the sheathing, this part right here is just the original back side of the original, what do you call those things? Paneling? I don't know if it's called paneling or something else. Siding, that's it. I forget words on account of my brain damage. Oh, come on. I really should be doing a neater job of this, but there's I have a hard time getting myself to care too much when this place has not been built properly. A lot of this hasn't been built properly to start with. But I want to get the foam well away from it in case for some reason there becomes a fire inside of this piece of pipe. That way it cannot transfer. I mean, what's the word when a fire moves from one place to another? That word. Spread? Yeah. I should just sort of remove it, but then that would be obvious that I did something. The volume is going to be a mess because I'm not, if I can avoid it, I'm not going to do any editing on this, just to kind of keep it true to, you know, the output. Like as we start training a computer to recognize certain things, I don't want to go and muddy the waters with stuff like proper editing. Yeah, this sheeting is dated July 85. So I'm gonna hazard a guess that this building was built shortly after that. But the garage and the shop rather, and the pool house and all the other stuff over on the other side was all built in 92. So this sheathing has 7 years on it, on being the only line of defense. I don't know, this seems kind of hokey. This room before I bought it, I guess the lady that owned this place, they built the shop, never used it. I put the first oil stains on the floor in this 4-bay detached garage. I'm the only one that's ever really done any work to it, in it. Because I think that she built it and then immediately got divorced. And they were just using it to store pool furniture. And then this area here, as she was trying to I guess do something with the revenue, they had poorly ran the facilities for a washer and dryer in here. And I'm glad they never put a washer and dryer in here, because of the apartment. I'm glad I never did that, because she was paying somebody who wasn't doing a real good job. Put it that way. And I've had to do extensive repairs. But that's okay. Gotta do something. If I had spare time, I wouldn't know what to do with it. Oh, and then we also have this flower thing. We have a working flower farm here with random corn and stuff. But I don't know if the old man that used to own this place had a concrete business or something, but there's just concrete so much there's concrete pads just everywhere. Alright. I'm going to slip this over that. And yes, she is round enough. So I'll snippy, snippy, snip. Bangy, bangy, bang. I need to make a cap and then also put the tape on the back before I continue. Alright, and then on from there, it'll be 5 feet. So I think this stuff comes in 3-foot sections. So 2 sections, so 4 pieces of that. They are proud of it. And then tape it all up. And then that boot, the thing at the bottom, I'll come back to this. I mean, this is not really that interesting. with the exception of the story, I suppose. So this will be at the bottom of it, and then probably land a couple screws in it on the wall, and then from there, this elbow. This will be like this. It might take 2 elbows. Yes, it will take 2 elbows. Shucks. So yeah, she'll take. Unless I had I have a half elbow. I don't think I have any that big. This will take 2 elbows, and then from here, I've got this 6-inch inline duct fan here, and then that'll sort of be behind everything. And then from that 6-inch inline duct fan, I have, once I go through the wall, trying not to walk on my heels and bounce, but I'm also trying to through this, through the wall. But I think that's good enough for a test for today. I'll just do all that. I don't really think that that's that interesting. Yes, so now I gotta figure out how to turn this thing off without grabbing hold of it. One of these days we're gonna get through this pedestrian sort of the minutia of getting a a battery charging / building station right here. So if I have a lithium fire, it's whatever. I have some sprinkler heads. I was thinking about coming through the wall and just putting like a friggin' just to make it like a complete mess. But I have a surface that I'm going to stick on top of here, and I'm keeping that one on the DL because it's going to be really neat. Because I've never seen anybody do it like I'm going to do it, but it'll be a real special thing as far as like having a welding table that's also a like an area where I can charge batteries. I guess I could do a little grinding in there, and then also have like a fixture set up, but also if I'm down here TIG welding, especially AC TIG welding, if you got your arms on the thing and you touch it just wrong or you start to sweat or whatever, that's really easy to zap the piss out of yourself. So I've got a thing I'm going to do with some non-conductive materials, and then also I got a big table to build and whatever. We'll just have to stay tuned. But now how I got to get to this. This thing I can smartphone control it, but I have been trying to minimize the amount of effort this takes. Alright, now I didn't really intend to, I can't wear 2 glasses. I didn't really intend to come back through, because this video wasn't really about what I'm doing. It's about, where my hands are and trying to kind of get everything aimed, so I really never intended to come back through, but I was looking at the some of the footage there, and it just seemed incomplete, so I figured I'd be fair and just go ahead and like update this to the point where it's obvious what I did. So alright, I snipped all this thing up, and I use these what do they call them, lath screws. Yes, lath screws, to hold that together. It's screwed right to the plywood, and then I taped over it all glory hole style. This is like partially pulled off paper, and I made this cap, so it'll go on top of there, and then those 2 pieces will snap in there. Same thing, they're all taped in front and back. Since I'm a brilliant engineer and I'm good with math, I ended up 2 inches short, and I had to make 2 inches of pipe. But then it comes down to elbow, elbow, and then there's the blower majig. It's kind of just sitting on a piece of, probably what's going to sit on, it's just going to sit on sheetrock like that, but something where it's just not sitting directly on the ground. But I also have the armored cable that came through right between the wall and the thingy, and then I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably end up just drilling a hole like right through that 2x, and then just putting an outlet or something on the other side of that thing, and then this thing will just plug into it. So that's that. I'm sure you've seen somebody poke a hole in a wall. If not, then I guess you're just going to have to use your imagination. Anyway, I figured I'd go through and complete that, land that plane, just in case it's interesting.